Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm doing a discussion over Critter Kitchen, the newest game by Cardboard Alchemy, which is the same company that did Flamecraft. Now, Flamecraft was an interesting game because it, for some reason, had this weird stigma against it that the art was what made the game good. And I'm not gonna lie, that the art helped the game, but I always thought that Flamecraft was solid. So it was interesting whenever Critter Kitchen was coming out to kind of see if that was still going to be the consensus around it, because the same artist of Flamecraft did the same art for this one. And I gotta say, Cardboard Alchemy and this company is certainly one to keep an eye on, because I think Critter Kitchen is also an extremely solid game. The art and production quality of this insanely huge deluxe edition do elevate it a little bit, I would say, but the gameplay of Critter Kitchen, I think, is still really good. I don't think there's many restaurant-style games out there, not really in the sense that this one does, where you are going to various locations to get different quality of ingredients to fulfill challenges, and then also have like this final big 7-course meal that's going to give you even more victory points. At least, yeah, most of them, the restaurant games that I'm kind of aware of is usually either managing a restaurant or kind of this weird, I wouldn't necessarily say like played up, but like rival restaurants, for I think is what it's called, is a lot more almost cutthroat kitchen style. This one is still going to locations and hopefully sending your faster worker to that spot to nab an ingredient that you might want. There's still kind of that element of player interaction, but for the most part, it's really just trying to present the best ingredient or present the best meal for these challenges to get you more victory points. But I would honestly say at the base level of this game, it's fine, because depending on player count, which in my opinion you're actually going to want higher player counts, because that's going to, one, give more locations, but two, means that there's going to be a different variety of workers at any given location. That means there's going to be a little bit more player interaction and more thought on your locations where you're assigning your workers, because it's like, okay, who might want that level 5 meat? Can I send my slower worker to grab it and maybe get a little bit more ingredients? Or do I just ensure that I get it and send my fast one? Oh, but wait, I'm like third in turn order, so if someone else sends their fast one, I'm going to go last in that picking if they also go there. You get that in a higher player count game versus a lower player count, where lower player counts, yeah, there's less locations, but you're kind of always going to get what you're wanting. But like I was saying, at the base level of this game, it's fine. You're generally going to get your points, and because the challenge meals have a wide range of victory points, it's easy to get 12, because you need 12 or higher to get victory points, to get 2 victory points, and that's pretty easy, especially whenever you can accommodate soup. Soup is kind of like a wild resource, and there's an unlimited amount of it, so you can apply that. If I need to do this coastal fusion which needs fish, cheese, and carrots, you need all of them, but let's say you have fish and cheese, you can actually use soup as a substitute for that, and generally it's easy to get to the 12 value at the very least. And if everyone is doing that, if everyone's able to do that, then that means everyone's getting 2 points. So no one's ever really gaining a leg up. Now, I will say in this game, getting an extra point here and there can absolutely make a difference, whether that's from a challenge meal, whether it's from your character's special power, or whether it's from the critic during the game, because this game is not necessarily like a high swingy point game where it's like, I got 30 points. It's nickel and diamond victory points every now and then, and in the games of this that I have played, I've actually seen more than my fair share of ties, which is kind of interesting. Whether it's like Final scoring, I get a point because I got my 7-course meal and some others didn't. But they had the most soup, so they got a point. So you're kind of getting that, tug of war aspect of, oh, I got a point more, and now you've made it up. So that's all well and good because it's a basic worker placement. Not really worker placement, worker assignment thing. Which I do like. I do like that element of having all the locations in your hand, but you can only send one worker to one location. I love the Chef Academy location that has a ton of different extra workers that have a special ability, but they can only be used on the very next round, and some of them might be really good, so you're going to be competing for that one, but that means you're not going to another location to get maybe some ingredients you might really want. Plus, it also gives you an extra worker, so I think that element helps a lot. But where this game really shines is in the a la carte expansion, where it kind of makes it module. And to be fair, the base game will have its different challenges that you're going to go through. It also will have different critics, which will change the way the game works, because they're going to kind of have an overall rule. Like the base game one that they recommend you start with is like, hey, in the final course, you can have as much cheese as you want, because normally you could only assign one to each location or each ingredient. But you can have as much cheese as you want, and whoever has the most cheese will get an extra 2 points. And all the critics will change the rules in some way. So that alone does help the variety. And then they have 2 different types of rumors that will either be for final scoring purposes or kind of like an overall goal for the final course, which is extremely nice. So there is some variety within the base game. But then the a la carte expansion, one adds more cutthroat zoo chefs, I think is what they're called, instead of sous chef. It's there's a bunch of puns on the in the game, which is definitely well received, I think, because it makes the game extremely charming. Like all of the individual player powers are based off of real chefs. And I was surprised to know that I knew a lot of them, and I'm not like into the culinary world at all, but I was like, I gotta know all these. But so that adds more cutthroat elements. There are some characters, like one that pulled up in the last game was all mouse workers at that character's location actually go last. So that will also add some more decision making whenever you are choosing your locations, where it's like, where do I send him? Where do I think everyone's going to send their fast workers? And can I, snipe them and get to go before all of them? So there's some clever reading of the other players whenever you have those particular zoo chefs in. And then there's the carts, which in the deluxe edition will have like this whole vacuum sealed tray of pieces that are completely unused unless you are playing with the cart expansion. And what's really cool about that is there's a ton of different carts that all have unique rules to the game. And those carts are assigned to some of the specific locations. Because you're going to have a soup truck, you're going to have the Midnight Merchant, and the Chef Academy, but then the individual locations will have carts put with them that will have their own rules, whether that will be for various ingredients to get extra victory points, to completely change the way that you're interacting with that location. That, I think, is a really, really awesome expansion because, like I said, the base game is fine, but yeah, you have different critics, that's cool. Then you have the different rumors, the 2 different types, that's kind of neat. But the cards really blow this game wide open. And it's a modular expansion, so you could either throw in the cutthroat zoo chefs, or you can have the regular ones and then throw in the carts. And that is really what is giving this game legs, in my opinion. So yeah, like, I think that this game, surprisingly, even with all like the modularity and the variety, is extremely clean of a game. I would say, comparing the 2 between Flamecraft and Critter Kitchen, this one has, I think, a little bit more going for it. Base game to base game, they're pretty comparable, I'd say. but this one has the extra step of where you can kind of add more and more and get a fresh take every time you are playing. Whereas Flamecraft, I feel like if you played Flamecraft over and over, it would kind of be like, okay, this is what this game is, which doesn't take anything away from it. But if you're wanting something that is similar in theme, even though, yeah, this is all about cooking and restaurants and ingredients, I'm talking about kind of like the cute, peaceful kind of comfort style. This one is going to have a lot more legs to it. I mean, in terms of like negatives, it's not really like hard negatives where I'm like, I don't like this. It's more of you're going to want more people, because in the lower count games that I've had of this, it's fine. Like, I'm not saying you're like, this game is bad at 2, but it is a lot less interactive. It is kind of like, oh, no, going to the same location again. And, okay, good, yeah, you didn't want the fish that I wanted. You took the other 2 things. That's fine. I got what I wanted. So there's, again, less indirect player interaction, because there's not a lot of like, I'm stealing this from you, or I am stopping you from doing this. There are zoo chefs that have abilities like that, but that's from the expansion. But whenever you have more players, it feels like your decisions have a lot more weight. When you're looking and you're like, I have my 3 workers, who do I want to send my big worker to? Because he can take 3 more ingredients. Or he can take 3 ingredients, but, God, there's really good ingredients at the Garden Top shop. Do I risk it? Or if I send him there, but then 2 other people go there, then he's not going to have anything left. So it adds an element of, like, risk-reward. Even though, what's nice is if you go to a location and there's nothing there that you want, or there's nothing there for you to take at all, you at least get soup. Like, it's something. But what's also kind of neat about this game is ingredients are never lost. So whenever you're done at various locations, any leftover ingredients go to the Chef Academy, which in the theme of this game is the area that, new chefs are being taught, the Chef Academy. So there's an extra step for you to go there and get something, but then everything that's from the Chef Academy goes to the soup truck. And that's where they'll stay. So it kind of allows for lower ingredients, which still have their value, to still be sought after. They never get like removed, which means that if higher value ingredients are taken, those are obviously going to be used in the challenges, but then those will go back into the bag later on. So I do really enjoy this game, more so than I thought I would. But I was excited whenever I was setting it up because I do think Flamecraft is a extremely solid game, and I assumed this was going to be of a similar vibe. But I was very excited for my dog just like pushed against my door and it freaked me out. I was very excited for the restaurant theme that this game was going to bring, and in terms of like what you're doing on your turn, you are really just doing kind of set collection with different numbers. But the art, the art looks so good on the food challenge cards. It has an aura of that culinary scene, which I think does a really good job of kind of helping as you're playing through this game. So yeah, like not many negatives. I would probably play this game again with more people and throw in the a la carte expansion, because it really isn't going to overcomplicate it, I don't think. And that would keep me around. If the game came out just as the base game, I'd be like, yeah, this is fine. But I don't know if I want to keep it around. But I think because for me, I have the deluxe edition, so that helps a lot. That will want me to keep coming back. And that's pretty much it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm at like a 7.5. Like, I think this game is good, leaning a little bit into great, but at the same time, like, I think I think this one would if this one saw a little bit more play, because I haven't played it with multiple people that many times. I've primarily played this at 2, but the games that I have played with more people, it was like, yep, this is probably better. So it'll depend on how this game actually is, how it sees over time. If I'm able to consistently get it to the table with more people, could bump that up into an 8, maybe an 8.5. But yeah, this one, honestly, I could say if you like Flamecraft, but you were like, I want a little bit more, this is probably the game to go out and get, honestly. So I really like this company so far. I think they're 2 for 2. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Critter Kitchen. So let me know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.